If you have tried to rent recently, you know how hard it is to get in that market right now. There's lots of competition for units. Supply is limited. Prices keep going up. It has put potential renters and tenants in a bind nationwide and right here at home. It's important to know that there is help available. Josie Williams with the Guilford Housing Coalition is here today to help you navigate through that process. She's answering questions about rent issues, what to do if you get an eviction notice, how you can get help with making the rent. Here's how you get your questions to her. You text us those questions. That number is 336-379-5775. All of the questions are anonymous and you get your question answered in real time. All right, first and foremost, let's kind of just do a big picture. Right now, we're looking at housing prices that are high, rent prices that are high. Hey, Josie, can we talk about that? The housing prices
Yes.
and the rent prices that are high?
Yeah, we see across our state, just as we see the mirror image going on within our city. The rental prices here within Greensboro is has definitely gone beyond reach of our normal um, consumer. We are seeing people because of the high rate of increase. Are being forced to look for other housing. And unfortunately, a lot of that housing that they need for our most vulnerable populations, it simply does not exist.
Simply does
And
not
so,
exist. Yes. I mean, so we have heard some people say that they have gotten their new lease from their landlord and it's double the rent. So if it's double the rent, what do you do? And is that even legal?
it's a catch-22. It is legal for a property owner to raise the rent. But when we're talking about raising the rent double within a short period of time, we're talking 30, 60 days. Is it ethical and moral? No. Is it completely necessary? In many cases, we don't believe so. We know that property owners can raise the rent, especially if they're doing renovations. They're trying to get it up to market value. Um, but we are trying to work with those property owners in such a way so it's more reasonable for the tenant. Maybe you could do a staggered approach to raising the rent, but for some, such as our elderly population, our most vulnerable households, our low income renters, raising the rent more than double within a 60-day time span or a 30-day time span, it's forcing people out of their homes and forcing them at a closer risk of being homeless.
So this is a problem that's nationwide and is a problem that we're seeing here for sure in the Triad. There are some ways to get some help with rental assistance. So can we talk a little bit about that? Because we know that there was a big push for rental assistance, a year and a half ago. A lot of that money has gone by the wayside, but there are still helps out there.
Yeah, there's still some help and some programs that's still available. Our agency, the Greensboro Housing Coalition, we are processing the applications that were in the pipeline, if you will. The city of Greensboro, as you know, has closed that portal. However, the Guilford County Cares program is still active. So processing is still going on with that program, and people are still applying through that program. Also, our one of our partners, Welfare Reform Project, they actually are able to assist in some capacity. It may not be to the degree that the City of Greensboro program or the Guilford Cares program is able to do, but they do have some monies left that they are able to assist in some capacity for some of our at-risk households.
Okay. So you are still able to apply, and then many other counties will have that same thing. So if you're not here in Guilford County, there are other ways to apply for that as well. All right, so we get emails all the time about folks who are facing eviction or fearful of facing eviction. If they are in that situation, what is the best thing to tell them?
If they are at risk of eviction, it is best to notify North Carolina Legal Aid sooner than later. We do have an eviction resolution program where we work with North Carolina Legal Aid to assist in case mediation if you are facing eviction. Also, oftentimes you may think that it is impossible to get beyond the eviction notice, but many times if we can work with the landlord and get payment to the landlord, he will dismiss the case, keeping you housed. That's why it's so important that as soon as you get the notice, to notify someone as soon as possible. And then also talk to the property owner, landlord, to see if they will work out a payment plan with you. We have landlords that have worked with our tenants in many cases and work with payment arrangements while they get more stable or while they are waiting on the rental assistance. But the key is, don't wait, do it sooner than later.
All right, and we're going to continue to talk about this. Like, what do you do if there's repairs in your place that you think need to be done? Can you withhold rent? How do you go about asking for repairs? How do you go about asking for what she was just talking about, that payment plan? How do you start that conversation? We're going to talk about that and take your questions coming up.